Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about blah 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 blah. Hi, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Blessing, and I'm here to do life with you. Now, today I have something totally different, and I would like to welcome you to the very first episode of the Sexuality Education with Bakshi series. Yes, if you've been around a while, you've had the name Bakshi. Bakshi is like my closest, bestest friend, and he is a sexuality education guru. And he decided, you know what if we partner and bring this information to people. He'd been doing it on Twitter and it was very successful, and we decided, let's give it more life, let's make it visual for people to get to interact directly with the person that is sharing this information. But also let's agree, yeah, video is really good. Like, you guys love to watch stuff. Okay, so today, ladies and gentlemen, allow me introduce you to Bakshi Asman Khan.
All right, Bakshi Asman is my name. I'm sexual productive health activist, trainer, practitioner. I do program development for sexual productive health and rights. I do sexuality education and all that. So it's really interesting that we are now moving to something visual.
Yeah.
Something that is more interactive, so that we can have more people join into the conversations.
Let me tell you something that excited me. So when you first introduced this concept to me as a Twitter discussion, it took me back to approximately 10 years when we first met.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Yeah, we met during...
It was 2000, I think it was 2011 February.
But you remember the month?
Yeah, 2011 February, I think it was either 12th or something.
What? Who remembers these things? Like, these are things couples don't even remember. But let me tell you, we met when we were in the same line of work. We were both volunteering at the same time. We were into sexuality, sexual reproductive health and rights education. Then we became certified peer educators. For you proceed. That was like your line of actually your career. Then for me, I branched out to now go into news, etc. But we kept our friendship. So here you are today, and I know that most of us don't really understand fully the concept of sexuality. This is where you're coming.
Yes. So just a quick one for a Blessing.
Don't start.
Just a quick one.
Okay.
What triggers your mind, or what really comes to your mind when you talk about sexual productive health and rights? Because it's really interesting that everyone has their own perception. So what is really that about you that you really...
Okay, so this is what I think. I feel like we talk about the human body, the anatomy of me as a woman, my feelings to relate with people. Yes, maybe both sexually, same sex and different sexes. But I also feel like maybe we bring in like the gender aspect. So that's how I feel about sexuality. And now when you bring in the element of reproductive health, obviously now I'm already thinking deeper, like, okay, reproductive health,
Giving birth
and
all that.
Conceiving, the complications that come with that, the joy that comes with that, etc.
That's, it's really interesting because for a very long time, the first time I really got introduced so much into sexual productive health and rights was when my sisters used to send me to the shop to buy for them sanitary pads. I was still a young boy, and it used to be fun running to the shop to do that. So I used to ask myself, what are they used for? So that's when I started opening up.
Wait, did people not, like shopkeepers, didn't they ever feel like, why are they sending a guy for something?
There was like a pick and it was like more of a small supermarket.
Okay.
So I could just move in. Sometimes I could go with a pack. And just show the shopkeeper what you need. So it used to be fun.
How old were you though?
I was about, I think, 7, 8, 9.
You know,
so it's really...
the funny bit, sorry, at that age, at 7 or 8, like, I would never have even pronounced the word, like, sanitary pads. Like, what do you mean? That is
So I find that it's been a journey with me, and it's until I realized this is something I need to understand. This is something that will relate with people, but also like the world. I just feel the world rotates around sexual productivity and rights. So that's why I even said, no, we need now to move away from the conventional way of talking through schools, but also moving out from the conventional singers and all that. We need to have this discussion openly, anywhere. Talk about sexual productive health and rights anywhere, whether it's at the workplace, whether it's at the bar, whether it's at a funeral, whether it's at a wedding, whether it's you're at the beach having fun. Talk about sexuality anytime, anywhere, every time.
I feel like the journey has, back when this whole thing started, you and I know, even sometimes when we would go to school to request to have conversations with students, teachers would be like, what are you going to tell our children about sex? People feel like when you openly talk about sex education, it's like you're propelling them, people to now actively engage in like sexual activity. Would you like to dispel that myth?
No, actually, one of the things is when you have information, for example, just look at a driver. When a driver has information of road safety, road signs, he's always alert. Like when I see a road sign telling me there's no turn on the left, I will not turn on the left. So it's the same thing we're doing here. If I give you information about how HIV is transmitted, how you can prevent a pregnancy, I'm not telling you to become pregnant. It means I have to always be safe. I need to practice safety. It's the same thing. So just look at it. For example, if you're going to the beach, you know that if it is too hot, I need sunscreen, I need a hat, I need this. So you're preparing yourself. So that's what we are doing with sexuality education. I'm preparing you, I'm giving you the information, but I'm telling you, if you need that service, where can I go and get the service? Where can I get this information? So we should freely talk about it. It's not that when we talk about sexual productive health, when we talk about sexuality education, I'm preempting you, making you start thinking about having sexual intercourse.
But it's true, it does raise some curiosity.
Yeah,
you feel curious just a little bit, like if they're talking about pregnancy, how would it feel? Yeah. Okay, then do we have a law in Uganda? I remember there's a time they wanted to introduce sexuality education on the curriculum, like officially. I don't know if that ever, did it ever happen? Do you know?
Literally right now, we have a sexuality education framework by Ministry of Education. It was kind of passed, then it was recalled back. So right now we are there in a state that is not really clear. So you find that one of the challenges is what comes out is the information you give. Is it appropriate to all audiences? I would presume that the audience that watches most of the videos on YouTube is not like, for example, 4, 5, 6, or 7, or 8. They're really about their teenage age, their youthful age. So some of the information would be appropriate. So that is the biggest challenge we are having, because you'd find that the parents will say, you're going to tell our kids about how to use a condom, but they're not yet sexually active. But also it goes back to something interesting. I'll just ask you, when do you think you got sexually active?
Good question. Let me think. I need to remember properly. I think I was around 15 years old.
15?
Yes.
That's when the first time you thought about
ever.
Yes.
Like your eyes get open into the world of like hormones and feelings. You see the opposite sex and you're like, oh my god, this feels weird.
So you find I feel that is the moment when they really start needing the information. So just imagine that's the moment you need to start having the information. So that before you go into the fantasizing about the whole thing, you're aware about it.
I would like to point out to like parents, maybe if you're a parent and you've come across my channel and you've been wanting to have these conversations with your child, but you don't know how to start, because most of our parents, to be honest, don't know. They tiptoe around the conversation.
They even sometimes send you to the auntie.
They send you to the auntie.
But they don't give you the reason why they are sending
you. They really never do. So if you're a parent and you have stumbled upon this channel, we're going to have so many episodes following this episode, just maybe to help you package this information for your children, or if you have like a teenager, watch this series with them. Let's help you break the ice. Then you can continue the conversation at home. Also follow this conversation every Wednesday on Twitter and no other social media platforms. Use the hashtag or search for the hashtag Sexuality Ed with Bakshi, and definitely you'll be joining this conversation. You can join the conversation ahead of this recording. Maybe we can, if you have questions, you can present them, then we get to talk about them in a subsequent episode.
So every Wednesday, just look out for the episodes of the Sexuality Ed with Baksh on Blessing Latrinda's YouTube channel. We shall have a lot of topical discussions on unpacking sexuality, human development, growth and development, HIV, STIs, but also we shall really look at how sexual productive health influences our lifestyle, how it really influences how we relate with people. We shall really have plenty of discussions around topical issues. And every Wednesday we shall give you something else.
What are we looking at in our first episode?
We shall really just understand what sexuality is.
Unpacking.
What is unpacking sexuality? That's what we shall be looking at in our first episode.
Awesome then. So everyone that has supported this episode, I would like to give you a special shout out. Malaika Print Studio is located at Rebel Stage on Bokoto on Tinder Road, and that is our location for this series. We love it here. You should pass by sometime for a photo shoot. Also, Cedric is behind the camera working it as always. And obviously, Buskago from Buskago Media for the equipment that we are using. And on top of that, Bakshi Asman Khan, the brand, for coming out to give us this information. We'll see you in the first episode. Bye. Cool.